I sold almost all of my handhelds. That's right, all of my retro handhelds. I have slimmed it down to just the few that I really adore, that I really love, that spark joy in me to play, and then just a few for utility purposes. So today's video, I'm going to lead you through which devices I decided to keep after sending so many out. Let's start this journey of just keeping the things we absolutely love in our lives. Let's hop in. So most importantly, I decided to keep my $4 Chicken McNuggie handheld. This is really just for nostalgia purposes, and I don't know, I guess already getting some nostalgia from this scene. This is a cheap toy you can buy from AliExpress, other shops. It's actually an officially licensed thing in McDonald's China, and it plays Tetris. Following in that trend, let's take a look at the Retro Chicken. That's right. JJ the Chicken, battery never dies. Oh my god, is the battery finally... What does this mean? What has it been, 4 years? Anyways, we'll come back to that. So I figured I've been dedicating these little wooden dish racks. You can get these on Amazon, but I've been dedicating them to each type of device. So these are all my verticals in a row here. First up, absolutely one of my all-time favorites, the Miyoo Mini Plus. I've modded this one. I've put so much love and care into this and hours, just enjoying games. And because you get Wi-Fi, you can get access to retro achievements. And yeah, this is just very pocketable. I've taken it pretty much everywhere I've gone in the last year or two. And Onion OS, I mean, it really doesn't get better than that. It's just very fleshed out, simple, easy. Love the face buttons. Just, yeah, you just pick it up and you play. Next up, my original 35XX by Anbernic. Oh, I have modded this one to heck and back. I got these various booth back buttons. Oh, feels good. Got that Game Boy Color sticker. Cloud Life 6 buttons here. The 35XX, I mean, this one with Garlic OS, just so simple. No Wi-Fi. This is a great one to take like off-grid, go camping with. And yeah, I have really enjoyed this one. And when I will continue to do so. I was going to keep just the 35XX 2024. This is one that is like the 35XX original, but with the newer chipset, but still no Wi-Fi, so it's great for off-grid and everything like that. But the more I thought about it, I kind of want to have that Wi-Fi. This is actually a busted unit that I have here of the 35XX Plus. It won't turn on, and so I wonder if I can hodgepodge together a working 35XX Plus, because might as well have retro achievements. And I think it's a little bit more of a step up then from the original. The AYN01A. Oh, so many jokes. We have a short up on our channel if you want to see what I'm talking about. But anyways, this one is just a very cheap handheld and no frills. I try to just always keep like one very, very budget handheld. It's like 28 bucks. So I'm not saying that this one's anything special. That's just the one I'm going to keep around for the kids to play on right now. Next up, oh, my beloved R36S. So this is one that I enjoyed at first, but then I put it away for so long because, again, so many handhelds just kept on coming to market here. And so I've myself been trying to slow down and enjoy some of these things more. And really, this one keeps calling to me, both just very vibrant, exotic colorway here. I actually think that the face buttons are kind of satisfying. They're stiffer than I would prefer, and that's what I said in my review, but over time, there is a certain satisfying feel to them. There are mods you can do to make everything here better, though, and I'm going to attempt that in an upcoming video, so I'm going to make this R36S the best it can be. Very loud shoulder buttons, not ergonomic, and so I actually have not only this fun case by Bum, matching orange, like $5 on Amazon, but Better Buttons on Etsy sells these improved shoulder buttons. So they're sloped ergonomic shoulder buttons. I want to see if it makes them any quieter as well. So yeah, we're going to swap those out. And they're basically going to look like what these do on the back of the 35XX. This is actually the Better Buttons design. Booth PM is the shop. Now, does this actually fit? I have no idea if this fits. First time, case reveal. Oh, it does. Look at that. Now I'm gonna have to get a bigger orange case because BAN is actually mailing me a grip to put on this, an orange grip to make it a little more ergonomic, because that's the one thing is that I don't love here is the ergonomics. And if you want to get something more powerful than an RG3526, which can play up to really some limited N64, Dreamcast, and PSP, but more so you're going to be enjoying just a lot of your PS1 games in that region or so, yeah, you can't go wrong. This is the best budget handheld in my opinion. Just so much community love and support for this, custom firmware options, mods, and fixes. So yeah, this is one I want to continue to watch the community love and support, and just watch this handheld grow. And the tall boy. In my PowKiddy's a 2024 ranking video, which I will link below as well, I made a whole video about this. I only kept one PowKiddy in the end, and I had said it's going to be the RGB20 Pro, but in the end, in my heart of hearts, almost unconsciously, subconsciously, when I was selling my devices, I meant to list this one and I accidentally left it off. I kind of realized, like, this one is a 1x1 dream. I don't care for the 1x1 screens as much. Like, I don't need one of those devices necessarily, but if I really only keep one, it's going to be more for retro systems, so I don't need like the RG Cube. I don't need the A1 Unicorn. I'm just going to have one, and the RGB30 has some of its own quirks, and the ergonomics not super comfy for me. And so this is one I both put the sticker on for one thing. You know, I want to try to modify the buttons on the back so they're not quite as loud. Face buttons are great. Joysticks work well. But yeah, just this one, 1x1, Pico 8, Game Boy Color, such a beautiful IPS display on the PowKiddy RGB20SX. This will be my one and done, 1x1. Next up we have horizontal, retro-inspired. Now this is really for just pure memories and nostalgia of the RP2 era. So this is the RP2 Plus. I put so many hours in this one, the purple indigo unit. I don't really use this anymore, and it's one I may let go at some point, but for now I really like having this around. Just makes me feel good. Likewise, the original RP2, this is the one that started it all. Not a handheld that I loved even back then so much, but it had the germ of the idea that they developed more fully. And so this one, yeah, it's a piece of history. It's so good. And of course, I'm not allowed to get rid of my DataFrog SF2000. People keep blaming me for this existing. Yeah, I talked about it on a podcast once. It had screen tearing, and so I never made a video. I was like, well, it's not one I'm going to use. I kind of like the face buttons. The D-pad's fine. There's a joystick that works. Very, very loud shoulders, but I mean, yeah, it uses its own proprietary battery style there. This is another one that the kids can play with if they want. Play up to kind of SNES on there. Next up is a twofer. I just happen to have two of them at the moment. The GKD Bubble, a RG3566 Game Gear inspired handheld. This one seems interesting. I actually haven't evaluated it yet, and it's just here in my review queue, but I'm going to get Plum OS on here, and I have a new unit now that showed up from Go Game Geek that might actually have the SD card ready to go. So stay tuned for my video on the GKD Bubble. TrimUI Smart Pro. Love this DMG colorway. Also haven't made a video about this. Very intrigued by it. CrossMix OS seems awesome. And it's one I've been kind of playing just casually. You ever played Adventure for Atari 2600? Actually a pretty hard game. You beat this duck with this key. Anyways, yeah, this is cool, so I want to talk about this one more.
Oh no.
No, GPD XD. Not my clams. Not my clams. Almost lost my clams. Anyways, these are my clamshells. First up, PowKiddy V90. Man, I can't tell you how many stories I have about this handheld. We have traditionally just, I don't know what started it, but traditionally in our server, if somebody's having a baby for their baby shower, we mail them a PowKiddy V90, this red one, or whatever color they choose, over the last 5 years. We've been sending these out, and even when I've had my own kids, people have sent V90s to me. And so when my son was born, I was in the delivery room just playing the V90, and so many stories of people just like, you know what, waiting. What we used the V90 for was waiting anxiously for those hours before the baby got here, just playing on the V90. Plays up to PS1, Very lightweight little clamshell, trusty. This is really all we had too for like budget clamshells in the last, I don't know how many years, but for a long time there. 4x3, not the greatest screen, but just so lightweight. The buttons work well, and there's 2 words why I recommend this. Not just those 2 speakers, but 2 words. Satisfying, snap. Oh yeah. All right. Satisfying. Also, can I just say, I thought, this is from Michael Benny. Thank you, Michael Benny. I thought this was gonna be the true, real red, but it's slightly coral. And that's an ongoing debate, and we need to get to the bottom of it. Think of our clams. Next up, the delightful H700 device from Anbernic, one of the many they released, but this is called the RG35XX SP. I have now ordered some mods from Etsy. I'm going to be putting a sticker in here. I have a front cover sticker, and I have some button replacements that I'm going to take a look at soon, so stay tuned for that. What can I say? Awesome, has Wi-Fi retro achievements, easy to store away, easy to pick up and play very fast. The lid closes and can put it to sleep. There's quieter buttons now in this V2 model, so I really like this, and I just like the green colorway here. Isn't that cool? And I recently beat Celeste all the way through the whole game on this device. Next up, look what I got back in my life. That's right, the Retroid Pocket Flip. This is one that I enjoyed at first, but then I'm like, I don't really need it. And then it called back to me, and I love clamshell devices. I actually sold my DSi XL, and I just got back into Android clamshells, and look at this, the Retroid Pocket Flip. Went ahead and added in the Retroid Pocket 2S Skittle buttons in there, and yeah, this just pops. I really like this, although it's a little sad going back to this IPS display coming from the Retroid Pocket 5 recently. I actually kind of liked these sliders a bit. The D-pad works well, the face buttons feel good, and I'm excited to play on the Flip some more. Yeah, 618 is going to be ample enough to play a lot of what you might use this for anyways. You're gonna be able to do some PS2, GameCube, up to that area, so these are hard to find now. They're not really sold. It's hard to find them, and they did have hinge issues. Later models like this, I believe it's good, but just be aware of that. You may need to repair that at some point in its lifespan. My original love in this scene, the GPD XD. This was an Android handheld. This one was rocking Android 4.4, so very old, but I did some mods in this recently to have GPD Win2 face buttons and some membrane swap outs. Just makes it feel nicer to play on. And I actually have a dedicated mod video I might release on that, maybe just to channel members. It's pretty niche, but it's just something fun to do. 16:9 IPS display. Battery life on this was really nice. It lasted up to almost 11 hours. This was my original love into this retro emulation scene. Yeah, I was blown away just at what you could do in emulation these days. And this kind of was spurred me on, and then eventually I got my RP2 and just sealed the deal. Yeah, I just load RetroArch on here, 32-bit. This plays up to Sega Saturn and a little bit of Dreamcast, N64. Has Wi-Fi for retro achievements. Would not recommend using this for game streaming at this point. Next up, we got a twofer again. 2 GPD XD Pluses. We have both a regular one with the hinge fixed, and then these are both Gen 2s. One with the mods to give us the GPD Win2 face buttons and nice membranes, fixed hinge, but the screen's going out on this one. And so we're going to do some swaparoos and get one working nice GPD XD unit. GPD XD Plus unit. These are a little more powerful than the original XD, played up to PSP, Dreamcast, N64, Nintendo DS, reasonable frame rates. All right. We're getting into the big boys. Now, technically, the 556 and the RP5 should have been in that other rack, but I just didn't have enough space. Starting out with the RG556, this is one that I really kicked off 2024, enjoying. The ergonomics are so nice in here. Unfortunately, this black unit here does get smudges easily. It does have a nice OLED screen though. The Hall sticks on here are not great and prone to pretty bad cardinal snapping, which I don't love, and so you could get Gamma OS on here and fix that. In the end, with some custom firmware love, the 556 is a really nice device. I'm still debating keeping this or not. It's just so comfortable, and it has that T820 inside of it, so it's capable, and one I really enjoyed reviewing. And of course, probably my favorite Android handheld of this year, RP5 is going to be that more budget-ish range. I mean, OLED mid-sized device. Yeah, this thing just does it all. Not a fingerprint magnet on the back. Beautiful AMOLED screen on the front. I mean, how can you do better than that? And this is my new pre-production review unit that now has fixed speakers, and I'm very happy to report back that the speakers now sound really nice on here. In the corpo category, all I am keeping right now, this is actually my wife's Switch Lite that I keep borrowing, and my main Switch, the OLED. I actually got rid of this after all the Nintendo stuff, and I'm like, I'm not using it. That's an easy push. And we even got some commenters saying, you guys are just gonna buy back Switch stuff. You're gonna buy a Switch 2. You're hypocrites. And to which I say, yes, you are correct. That is correct. I got the Switch OLED here because I want to play some Mario. I gotta set this up with this Dobby grip. This is a new unit here, the Dobby 2, my favorite so far. Yeah. And I'm down to 2 x86 handhelds. First off being, I cannot deny myself the pleasure of using the Steam Deck OLED. This is my modified LE unit, and I have a JSAW grip on here with a kickstand. Yeah, this just so fits into everyday life. Boot it up, play your games. It is awesome. This is what I play in my off hours. And my favorite Windows handheld of this year. That's right, you are probably not surprised by this. The MSI Claw. This has a grip from Amazon on it with a kickstand. But for a grip, it's nice and comfortable, adds a little bit of ergonomic bump out on the back. These speakers, oh my god. Very, very capable, and it's getting better all the time. Love my Claw. Love my Claw. And those are all my handhelds. How many is that? I got down to 25. I want to get down to like my favorite 6 and then maybe eventually 3, but it's not going to happen. So there you go. Those are the ones that I have left. Those are the ones I'm going to be playing on. Let me know, what are your staples in your handheld collection? Which ones can you not live without? Because these are it for me for now. So until the next one, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay in the know for all of your favorite retro handhelds. And a special thanks to our channel members, patrons, and subs for making everything here possible for us. Join us in our Discord to chat and play games, and join me on the podcast on Monday, where we're going to be talking about the latest, greatest in handheld news and beyond. But until the next time, this has been Stubbs with RH. Take care of those handhelds, everybody, and each other.